Let's go, girls. Welcome to Talk Wealthy to Me. I'm Michelle Taylor, founder of Women in Wealth. From breaking money myths to building wealth and achieving financial freedom, we're here to empower you to create your own path. Talk Wealthy. Now, join the conversation and let's change the way women think and feel about money. Okay, ready? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Talk Wealthy to Me. I am Michelle Taylor, and today I always say I'm excited, but this time I'm super excited because I am joined by two very special guests. You've heard me talk a million times about my niece, Addison, and she is joined by her bestie that has been part of our family and in our lives for like 10 years now, Chloe. So welcome, ladies, to Talk Wealthy to Me.
Hi.
Okay, so before we kick all of this off, I've mentioned to you all how important having money conversations are. It can't just be something that we're trying to fix for ourselves, but also there's eyes watching us all the time. And I thought it was really important in this season of graduation and a fresh new batch of 18-year-old baby birds flying the nest that will be, expected to make good financial decisions, that this was a great season to have them on and kind of talk through what their experiences have been in, their world when it comes to money and what they see and what they are hoping to do with their lives. So that's what today is all about. So without further ado, tell us all the goods. Tell us everything. So do you guys want to first start by telling everybody you just graduated? Yesterday was not graduated yet. Yesterday was your last day of school.
Yes.
Yeah. And graduation is next week.
Next Friday. Yep. Yeah, we're super excited. I mean, it just feels so unreal. Like this new season of life and everything coming to an end. It feels so abruptly. Like you get so invested into something after 4 years.
And then it's over.
So yeah, it's crazy.
And it's so sad, but also so exciting.
Yeah, definitely mixed emotions. We have a walkout where you walk out of the school and everyone watches. I was the only one crying, but
which is not surprising because I can speak to this because of genetics. She's from a family of criers, you guys. So
very true. Very true.
So one of the things that I want to kick off, and we have a lot to unpack in this episode, but one of the things that I think is such a testament to the work you guys have already done is Addison's Bank here in Florida had a location in their high school, and it was a very selective process to pick 2 students to be bank head tellers at the school. And these 2 lovely ladies were chosen. So what did that look like? Why did you even think that this was something that you wanted to do? Was it just because it was adding to your resume, or was there an interest there?
I think it was part we're going to our senior year. So we feel like we needed more to add to get to where we wanted to go. Cause none of us knew. I wanted to go to the University of Florida. She wanted to go to the University of Georgia. We both knew coming in, we need more things to up us in that level. So I think sitting in the office when they were okay, we're going to need 2 seniors, we're we want that. We want it to go on our resume. And then once we they were okay, you guys are going to be the ones who are we have great chemistry outside of school and going to different things. Yeah. So I think that was one of the reasons they chose us, and we're involved in so many different things. So I think that's really great.
And what about you? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I want to follow into my aunt's footsteps with being a businesswoman and all the financial things. So I think that was also a great opportunity for me too. So of course, the college aspect, but also it will help me in my future careers.
Yeah. And what was that like? So you go in, did they give you any kind of roadmap on what were you really doing there as head tellers? Because I think a lot of people listening, first of all, huge shout out to Addisons to even do this, because for you guys listening and for people that aren't local, I mean, Apopka isn't a big metropolitan area. It's not like it's in New York City. So the fact that a bank was opening a branch in a high school, I think, is such a kudos to them for even thinking through that. But then what happened there? What could kids actually or students actually do?
So it was a branch inside the school. It was down by our cafeteria, and it was literally like a normal branch. You walk in, there's the desk, there's another desk, all these side areas with different forms and flyers you could fill out and different things you could read. So students could come in, they could open a bank account, or they could just ask us any type of questions about banking, how it works, what they should do, when they should start. And they could open their own account. They had a savings account, checking accounts, and just kind of learning how it worked from us.
That's super cool. So, okay. So did you guys hear anything that was super surprising, or did everybody come in and say kind of the same thing? Like, hey, I don't know why I'm here. I think I should be here. What do I do next? I want to open up a checking account or a savings account. I think that was probably the most that you guys could do. You weren't. Okay. So when people came in, did you feel like there were a lot of the same questions or uncertainties around what they needed and how they looked for you for guidance?
A lot of people have they didn't know their parents could not be on it. I think that was the biggest my
definitely.
parents couldn't be on it. So it's I can spend whatever I want, which I think in some way it's you have to learn how to spend your money in that aspect because your parents are not sitting on your account oh, let me put $20 here for this weekend or $20 there. It's what you get, and you have to sit there and learn how to move money to your savings to save up for college just by yourself. So I think that's what really got people. And then also once you signed up for an account, you got $25. I think that really sparked an interest.
Yeah, that was a big pull.
So free $25.
Yeah. And that was 2 Chipotle meals for and I'm in high school.
Say, so everybody should have been lining up to open an account. Again, kudos to Addition's Bank. I mean, that's incredible that they even thought of that. Okay. So they'd come in and they learned quickly that they were on their own. And I think that can be scary, which is a good kind of segue into what I want to talk to you guys about. And that's, my story, and you probably have heard me talk about this too, but when I made the most mistakes financially was when I was in college or had just graduated. I think for you guys or for anybody that's sharing this episode with their own baby birds that are going to college, as kids are kind of navigating this world of, okay, I'm on my own. What do you think that we can do better? What do you think that adults that may be listening can do better to prepare their people, their children or their nieces, nephews, whomever, to make better choices? What do you guys think that you don't know that you should know?
Well, I think the Additions program has been so amazing. Apopka was their 12th branch in Orange County, which is our school. Yeah, our school district. So there is upcoming a lot more, and a lot of more students are getting to know about it, and it's becoming a lot more popular.
They're being forced kind of to make good decisions.
Yeah. But I feel a big way that we can advocate for it more is ways like this, podcast, talking to students. I think what we would do with the Additions, we would have tables at lunch and kind of advertise and have games and have candy for students to get. And I feel that's a great way to bring attention to it.
What about you? What would you say, Chloe?
I would say I think the Additions program, especially when we would go in there, some days we'd have to do lessons, sit there and teach us stuff. And I think those were some of our favorite days in the bank because we were sitting here we did not
What did they teach you?
There were some things about when we'd pay back, if you had a credit card, when the monthly payments would be for your credit card, about trust funds and all that different stuff. And we're wait, that doesn't make sense to us.
Idea. There was slideshows about credit scores, teaching you a good credit score versus a bad credit score and how to build that. There was one even about interviews, teaching us how you should go into an interview, how you should be prepared, what questions to expect, and everything like that. And I think if we could get a program like that, like the one you're building, outside of schools that may not have this branch, I feel that's a great opportunity for students to learn.
Well, and because I think, and this is no shame or shade on anybody's, upbringing, because I've been very vocal about even my own. Growing up, my mom was super, diligent and budgeted. But her money mindset of saying, oh, we can't afford this or we can't do that, it created scarcity, right? And then my dad, who's an entrepreneur, also until he was successful, he didn't manage money really well. Being an entrepreneur is scary and it's hard, and there's a lot of money pinches that happen. And then when you are successful, and I saw what he was doing, I just knew that that looked like a lot more fun and freedom tied to that versus my mom. But neither of them were teaching me anything. And I think that that's really important. And, you know, even you and I, we talk a little bit about money and all of the things, but the core principles of this is a credit score. This is what you need to do to set yourself up for success. This is the type of account you have access to. Don't put your $5,000 that you've saved since you were 15 in a savings account, put it in a money market because interest will grow more. Like those are all things that we can do better talking about. And I just think there's a ton of room for growth. And do you guys feel prepared financially? And full disclaimer, no, don't get mad at me for asking parents and family that we all share, because I didn't do it either, but I'm serious. Do you guys feel like I feel like I have enough knowledge to make really good decisions financially? Or especially me, did I fail you in this? Because I have. But do you guys feel ready?
I think the position that we're coming from, like, I feel more ready, and knowing that I have a job right now, knowing that I know how to spend my money, where to save it, how much of my paycheck to put apart for my necessities and then go spend it on fun later. I have a good like foundation going to college now. If you would ask me a year ago, I probably would have said no. I don't know. I might be staying home like that. I don't think college was in my view sight a year ago. Like, I didn't think I was going to go. I think I was going to stay home, do Valencia, just the cheapest option possible. But now that I've learned about money, taken it upon myself to go get a job, I think that's set me up to go.
Better.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely within like the last year, of course, all the knowledge that you've taught me. But I feel like a big thing that we miss is the basics, like you said. Like, what's a good credit score, how to prepare for an interview.
Yeah.
Literally the basic things that you don't typically pick up or hear in an adult conversation because you're more advanced when you have those conversations.
Well,
so
and
just going into the basics is like what's really helped me.
yeah, and I think it's something I've become more conscious of even with my kids, is talking about it when they're little.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big conversation, just talking about, okay, you just got $50 for your birthday. We should save, $10 of it because of these reasons. And then you should spend this much. And I think that that's just some of the easy things that we can do to continue to get better and better, as we go. Did you guys talk about money in your families growing up with the adults, and not necessarily just even your parents, but did you talk about money in a good or bad way growing up?
I feel like a big thing I was always taught that's become less popular now is that you don't talk about money.
I know.
And I feel like that was such a basic thing that you were always taught, and like that's why I feel
it's
I grew
rude
up.
or not good
It's-
manners.
Yeah. And you don't ask people how much they make. You don't talk about money. You're not supposed to talk about those things. And I feel like it's became a lot more popular today to have those conversations and just to educate yourself and educate others on that so you can expand your own horizon.
I love that. I love it. But so growing up, you really didn't talk about it much.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't something that was really spoke about with my family or my friends. And I just feel like it wasn't a conversation that really came
Happened,
up.
yeah. What about you?
I feel like the same way. Like, I feel like we come from very similar households, being like
Mhm.
children of teachers. It's
Yeah.
like, we obviously know teachers don't get paid too much. It's like they never wanted to have that conversation. Obviously, I think our families both did like the very best they could in our lives.
Yeah.
But it was also like, okay, so like, kind of where your limit is, like not to ask for too much, but like also like you can have your fun, but like just keep it to a
Yep.
minimum. And then I think the same way with friends. I think everybody would give silent hints almost. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, like, yeah, like, my mom kind of said no to this. Like, and I think that might have been like the hint, like, oh, we just can't do that right now. Like, I don't have the money to
Mhm.
do that. But it was never like, oh, I don't have the money. And I think right now, especially a lot of us having jobs and doing different things, it's like, oh, like, it's okay. Like, I want you to come. So, like, I'm going to help you out. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the growth of things. Like, I have a job. Like, if Addie can't go do something, I'm like, oh no, like you're gonna come because I want you to come with me. Like
That's
the
Yeah, I
money
think
talk
that's a
has
big
very
thing.
expanded.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. And do you feel like your friends, do you guys talk about money? Do you talk about, and this is not normal, I don't expect you to say yes, but do you talk about like, oh, investing your money or saving, or what are you going to do with your money? I'm sure it's more like, I'm going to save for a car or save for this big thing. But do friends talk about money much or not really?
Me and Chloe are definitely the pushers of that.
Yeah. I would
Now
say I see that
we
one.
have more
Yeah.
knowledge, and with the bank program at the school, I feel like we've brought up that conversation a lot more to our
Yeah.
friends. And I think it's helped
That's
them.
good.
They've talked about it more. We've had open conversations about
Yeah,
it.
about like where we stand financially, like, oh, if we can go do this because like we're saving up now to go do this in the summer, or like we want to go do a trip or something, like we have to talk about how to structure ourselves now to go do that later.
I love that. So it's good.
Yeah.
See, doing the good work. And when you guys think about, and I know this is something that we've talked about with expenses, and something that I know, well, the three of us, we went up to Gainesville where they're both going to school, and your mom was with us, and it was just this fun trip. And then we went to lunch and we were talking about the cost of school, and there were lots of emotions that came with that. And I remember saying to you not to be scared of, if you had to have a student loan, which we didn't even know if you would or wouldn't at that point, but if you had to, not to be scared of it. Because in my opinion, taking on debt that is necessary to get you to the next level is betting on yourself. And I think that growing up, where you may have been, and maybe both of you, we've all been taught debt is bad. And so I think that that's a really important conversation for anybody listening, to make sure that we're making the clear delineation between debt that is bad because it's buying something, opening a credit card at Sephora to get, 10% off or whatever it is, versus betting on yourself to go out and get an education that will give you a lifestyle that you won't have. Who cares if you have to pay off a student loan, right? So I think that that was a big turning point for me to see you guys and have that money conversation, because that was nothing that you learned at the bank. That was something that you were taught, probably not even consciously. It was, and I always say, like, you took somebody else's story and put it in your own backpack and carried it with you. And so I think that it was a good reminder for me to think, holy cow, how are we talking about money around the people that are looking at us all the time that may be, prohibitive to them being the best version of themselves because they don't understand how it works. So that was more just, I think, a good moment of clarity that it matters how people talk about money. Not even talking about, okay, this is what the family vacation is going to cost and this is the choices we're making, but just talking about money in general as a family, saying, oh, this doesn't matter, or, oh, we can't afford this. I hope that it's something that we all do better. Even you guys, when you guys are moms or aunts or whomever, just don't make your own history somebody else's future, Yeah. Do your friends, where do you guys get your advice? Forget the bank, because we already know, but is your generation going on TikTok? Are they asking their parents? Are they asking like aunts or whomever? Do you know, like, where do you guys get your info?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big advocate of ChatGPT. Like, I feel like it's the same thing as going on Google and searching it up, but like it just gets everything. Like, if I sit to like explain something to me really quickly and like short bullet points, it's gonna like blah blah blah, this is what you need to do, and like it's a quick easy
answer.
Yeah. Or like I ask other people like, oh, what are you doing? Like, is that a route for me I could take possibly? Like, oh, like when we were talking about our apartment, like, oh, what we wanted, how we were going to pay for it, like we talk to each other about it and see like what we could do. I
love that.
I'm totally like the complete opposite. Like, I don't really ever use ChatGPT. I do use TikTok. I'll go on TikTok and look things up. I talk to my friends a lot about it.
It's good.
And I also reach out to a lot of people who were older than me in high school and who have
Mhm.
already graduated, and I've seen their lifestyles when I was picking what school I wanted to go to. I probably reached out to someone from every school that I wanted to go to and asked them their pros and cons, if they thought I should go or if it just related to them and what they thought. And that completely changed the game for me and where I ended up.
Okay, so I'm glad. I love that you both did it in a different way. And I want to circle back to AI because I do think that this is something that is really important. I want to make sure that, for any of you that are listening that are like in y'all's stage of life, TikTok and AI and all of these things are great, like quick hits, right? Somebody says something to you guys, or you hear me say something at dinner to your mom and it's, oh, private credit. And you're like, what the hell is private credit, right?
Yeah.
I love that you can go on and look that up quickly. Where I would challenge you guys and anybody listening, always remember that AI is just a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think the job security for somebody like me is true wealth building and true, financial planning and security. It adds the color to what ChatGPT is giving you, like the black and white facts, right? Yes, this is what this is, but how do you know if it's appropriate for you? So I think that it's a great tool as long as it's just a tool. And then TikTok, I mean, we're never
Everybody
getting
loves
away from TikTok, right? But if TikTok gives you, let's say, the strategy to say, hey, if you are opening up a credit card and you're a freshman in college, this is what you should do. I think what's really important to remember for both of you and anybody listening is take that and then take that to somebody that knows, that's a human being, to say, this is what I'm hearing. Is this appropriate for me? And I think that that's kind of how you balance both things to make sure it's good advice and appropriate. But when you think about success and wealth, as you guys are embarking on this huge change, right? What does that look like for you? When you think about, and it doesn't even matter what you want to do for a living, but when you think about your 30-year-old self, what does she look like? What has she done? Or what does her life look like that feels like, oh, that means that I've made it, or that means that I'm wealthy? Are there any like things that you think of that you're chasing?
I think one of the big things for me is like when I have a family and kids, like I want to be able to like, I'm not saying spoil them, but like just know that I'm never going to say no because of money. Like that's where I see myself. I just don't want to say no because we don't have it right now. Like when they have a 16th birthday, I want them to be able to get a car, like get their license right away, be able to start doing things on their own, drive themselves to a job if they want to make extra money, like right away. I don't want to be able to say no because of money. Like that is not one of the limitations.
Okay, so we're going to come back to you because I want to hear this, your answer as well. But now to dig a little bit deeper on that. So what I'm hearing is it's not so much about the job that you have or the thing that you have, but the freedom and options that success will afford you in life to just, you want to be able to say yes instead of no. Not to say that you're not going to tell your kid, like, I'm not buying you this toy because you don't need it, but you never want to have to say no when you want to say yes because of money. And I think that if you can get there, it doesn't matter how you get there, but that will feel like you are successful, right? I love that. I love that. And you've already cracked the code because that's what I say all the time. It's not about a thing. Really, when people tell you that money can't buy happiness, it's not true. Money, if you equate happiness to being able to sleep at night, not worrying about money, not worrying about being in a predicament that you can't solve, like having money allows you to do those things. It doesn't make a bad person good, certainly, but how you get there doesn't matter. And what success looks like for one person could look very different to somebody else. But chasing that one thing will make it more important to you and make you more likely to get to that place. So that is fantastic. Okay, what about you?
Success for me would be when I'm 30, I don't have to bank on anyone else. Like, of course, I don't want that to happen, but if I were to get divorced, I wouldn't want to be in trouble after I'm divorced. I would want to be able to fully help myself, help my kids, and like Chloe said, not have to say no to them because I don't want to or because I don't have the money. And I want to be able to be well-traveled. I love traveling, so I want to do that. And I just want to live the life that I want to live and not have to wait on anyone else, depend on anyone else. And like we had a small conversation about this earlier, I would rather buy myself a gift than a gift be bought for me. I would rather earn something for myself than it be handed to me. And I think, yeah, that's just something that...
I mean, just such a proud moment for me right now for both of you, because I've said very similar things that both of you guys have said, and I think that it served me well, and I think it'll serve both of you well. What is the one splurge that you guys, when you think about, you know, that 30-year-old you, what is the one thing that you're like, oh, I want to be able to do this? Is it like, and you guys, of course, we've talked about this, but for me, it was like, when I travel, I want to be able to travel in like a really nice way. And that's something that really mattered, or having fresh flowers in the house all the time, or having like the second refrigerator in the garage stocked with Coke and Sprite that I don't even drink. Do you guys have that thing that you're like, when that happens, that is the way I'm going to spoil myself?
I kind of have two things. One thing is I want my house to be the like hangout house. Like I want
that.
like a basement, a movie theater room, a pool.
Okay.
Like I want the kids to like come over to my house and think like she has done herself well, like she takes care of her kids. And then another thing is I want to be like the yearly trip family. Like on the summer, we're taking 2 weeks and we're going to choose a new place every year, give my kids like opportunities to go see the world and like do stuff like that.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. Okay, what about you?
Okay, I feel like it's very niche, but I want to have one of the garage fridge that's covered in magnets from everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
How people have them and a magnet from every place they traveled. I want the whole thing covered. I want to go to as many countries as possible, show myself the world, show my husband the world, show my kids the world. And I want that magnet fridge so bad.
Oh my God. I cannot wait until that happens. And I'm going to play this episode back for both of you because I know you're going to do it. And I have to say, so I'm 100% sure I have shared this story before. When I had first kind of started this entrepreneurial venture, you were like 3. And Addie's mom is not super fashion, like a fashion lover. She's adorable, Shani. But that's one of the things that we first kind of were both girly. And I got Addie a book and it was called Shoe La La. And she was 3 years old. And I said, when you turn 16, we're going to Italy and we're going to buy your first pair of shoes. And at that point, you guys, this is still when I had debt and was, you know, I had no idea what this was going to look like. It was so scary to leave a stable job in the fashion industry that I was, you know, making decent money and could do the little things I wanted to do. But I knew I wanted more and I had to jump and do this. And, you know, being in wealth management, there is no salary. It is like feast or famine. There's a lot of famine when you're first starting. So I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I'm a big believer in just speaking it into fruition. And we did. Addie's first trip out of the country or to Europe, we went when you turned 16, we brought my other niece and we had the best time. And I will never forget coming home. And it was like the best thank you ever when you sent me that message. And you were like, thank you so much for sharing your favorite spot in the world with me. And now it's my favorite spot. And to watch you, it was kind of like me reliving what happened to me when I took my first trip overseas, where the whole world was opened up and you just were like, I am coming back here. I am going to travel all the time. You learn very quickly your surroundings. You were able to navigate things. And it was just such a moment. And now to hear you say that you want to travel all the time, I mean, because it truly is. And you said the same thing. And I love that. I love that neither of you said, I want to be able to drive this car or have this handbag or whatever. Because, I mean, it's fun, right? Like those things are fun. But travel and like giving yourself the gift of being able to do great things with your families and not depend on somebody else to give it to you, I think you guys have already, cracked the code, and that is amazing. Okay. So as we are kind of winding this down, if someone is listening to this episode and they are sharing it with a high school graduate or somebody in college, from what you know that you've learned so far about money, what do you think is a piece of advice that you would give them at this stage in the game? Either something that you think that they should do or something that you have seen one of your friends do or someone in your family. They're like, that was a terrible idea. Don't do it.
I would say the best thing that you can do for yourself is to get out of your comfort zone. When we had that talk in Cheesecake Factory, I was fine with staying home and living at home, going to college here.
Because you were scared of debt.
Because I was scared. And they made me take the leap. And now I'm moving out. I have my rent due. I have my college money due. I'm getting a job. Very out of my comfort zone. If you told me I was doing that a year ago, I probably wouldn't be happy. I'd definitely be scared. But I'm super excited. And yeah, I think that's the best thing that I've done for myself. And just like building that excitement and having that excitement has told me that I've made the right choice.
Yeah. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, you guys. It is never a bad bet, ever. Okay. What would you say?
I think I would say to like start early. Like if you know what you want to do, don't wait until like you have somebody like that's like, yeah, you can do it. I would say if you know what you want to do, like go ahead and do it. Like when I was sitting there, my parents were like, it may not be possible. Like you should stay home to save money. I was like, I don't want to do that. Like I'm not going to sit and wait for people to tell me like, you can do this now. Like if I'm going to go into debt, like I hate when people associate that word with the negative tone. If I'm going to go into debt, I'm going to do it and then set up a career for myself where I can just pay it off and live the lifestyle I want. Like I joined clubs. I did more college classes. I set myself up so I can, when I get to college, I'm going to go do what I need to do, go to my career and be ready to go.
Make the world your oyster. I am so proud of you both. And, I have to say transparently, when I was starting Women in Wealth and rolling all of these things out, when I was thinking about Finance 101, the course that I have within the offerings within Women in Wealth, I was thinking of like the two of you because I know what you guys know and I know what you don't know. And I'm so glad that you even mentioned interviewing and negotiating and really, if you are listening and you have not had these conversations or don't even know where to start, because maybe no one had them with you, right? And now you're married to somebody that has given you a great life, but if they weren't there, you wouldn't know what to do. Or you are a total badass and doing all of the great things, but also still didn't have the roadmap. And I think sometimes when you don't have the roadmap or the foundation to start and you find yourself in a place where you've got a lot of success, you almost have like imposter syndrome where you're like, I don't know how I got here. I don't want to look. I just want to keep moving because you still miss the basics. And I think that shameless plug, but if you are feeling that and you've got a young person in your life that is about to embark on this journey, click in the show notes. Finance 101 covers all of these things so that when somebody is thinking about credit scores and how much do you need to have as an emergency fund, how do I start an investment account? I don't care if it's $20 a month, you guys. Have the conversations with the young people in your lives. And if you are someone who has set yourself up and has done well, don't make it so easy on them. I know, it's something you referenced about when you have kids and something I do now where I have to say, okay, just because I can doesn't mean I should. You've got to learn the lessons and how to do it on your own. And hopefully they're not doing it when they're 20 years old, because I can assure you that when you're sending them, we were joking about this before we started recording, but when you're sending them money for books or for food, they're not spending it on just that stuff. They're spending it on like the bare necessities and they're taking the rest of it and they're going out to some parties, but we're not going to even talk about that. But it's going to happen, right? Or they're going to Forever. Oh, that's not even a real thing anymore. They're going, you guys, it shows I'm not shopping there anymore, but they're going to Amazon and buying a new outfit. And unless they know different, they're going to waste a lot of time. Start early, right? So if you have any questions or think that it may be something that someone in your life may benefit from, it's a great thing to put in someone's lap for graduation. Finance 101, give them the benefit of a strong foundation and let them fly the nest with confidence, because not everybody starts off with a job as a head teller at a bank branch in their school. That is not common. And I will not to pat myself on the back, but I feel like we've done a good job of talking about things that no one talked to me about. So if you're not doing it, let a course do it, and let's change the way women think and feel about money together, like I always say, but also let's change this generationally for everybody, because if the people that are young we can impact now, that's only going to continue to trickle down to their friends that are freshmen or their siblings that are younger or their kids. The burden is ours. We've come so far. I don't know I'm sure you guys know this, but do you know, women up until the 80s couldn't even have a credit card in their own name or buy a house without a male cosigner. I mean, can you even imagine the ridiculousness of that?
No.
So we've come so far, right? But we still have so far to go, and it's ours. That's something we should all put in our backpack, because we want every generation to have it easier and do better than what we had. So have the conversations, find the community, find the course, find the things, but just do a little bit better than what was done for us. And then that's where the magic happens. So with that, real quick, what are you most excited about for college? It can't be about money, just about what are you most excited about? You're going to be on your own. You guys are sharing an apartment. You're decorating the apartment. One's buying the coffee maker. One's buying the plates. What are you most excited about?
Apartment aside, I love football. I'm not a Gators fan, but I'm very excited for the football games. I'm excited for the tailgate life. And I'm just excited to meet new people and experience a different chapter of life.
I definitely think I'm excited to have an apartment on our own.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting, but also nerve-wracking to see how we're going to operate together. When your family comes home and has a nice meal, are we going to sit down and eat together? I'm just thinking about that. Are we going to have meals together like a family, or family cook dinner for each other?
You guys will.
I it excites me to know not know what's next. I think that's exciting. Just every day is going to be something new.
And you're going to suddenly be adulting. And it's the same but different. So right now, you guys make your own money. You can go to the grocery store. But when you guys are filling your own apartment, you're going to the grocery store and you're like,
do grocery shop.
Or do I have to text the group chat and say hey, does anybody need anything?
Yes. And just wait until people come and visit, and then you're hosting them.
Oh, I'm excited for that. I'm very excited to host.
But not also friends, because your friends are going to come because you're going to a great college town, but also when your parents come to stay. You're going to have to cook for them. It's a whole thing. That's
crazy.
It's adulting pretty quick. And you guys are going to have money conversations with your roommates, and you're not going to open a credit card for a free t-shirt on the way.
No free t-shirts.
No free t-shirt. If Shell comes and sees a free t-shirt,
no, it's so bad.
Flip out.
I joke all the time and say that t-shirt probably cost me $5,000 because of interest, because I was swiping that card and it was free money, and it was not free money. And I learned. So hopefully now, because of that, you guys don't have to learn that same lesson. Well, I'm very proud of both of you. I have to say, as we close this out, I know that friends and family of these two amazing women will be listening. Bravo to you guys. You've done such incredible jobs in making them who they are. They've done it on their own, but also so impressive with everything they've done. And for anybody that has young kids that are listening that aren't quite at this place, use them as your North Star. You guys are doing so great. Keep up the good work. Keep fighting the good fight. Make all the great decisions. And what are you going to do with the graduation money that you get to celebrate your graduation? Because anybody that is listening that knows them, they just want graduation money to celebrate this big milestone. What are you guys going to do with it?
We are gonna save half
Yes.
and spend the other half.
And maybe some investing in
Yeah,
there too.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe just
Invest
put
in
$500
yourselves, yeah.
into an investment account, and I'll come up and I'll teach you how we do that. Sound good?
Yes, sounds
Okay.
amazing.
Great.
Well, I hope you guys got a lot out of this today. Please share it near and far with anybody that you think will benefit from this. If you have any questions, you know how to find me. We'll put the Financial 101 course link in the show notes. And as always, let's keep talking and having these important conversations and change the way women think and feel about money together.